For sure. Got it. And yet, at the peak of your growth, you decided to do the reverse path. You sold your two companies.
Yeah,
You went with your family to live in a farm to grow
yeah,
your own food.
yeah,
And you're writing your book, Return to Real.
yeah.
So, what happened? Like, what made this change?
So the reality of the story is built a company, moved to the farm. The reality is that's not exactly how it played out for me. I went to sell my company after having run it for more than a decade. I'd reached a point where I realized I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life. I kind of reflected back on at the time, I could feel the window with my two boys, my children, closing fast. And I knew what it would take to get my company to the next level. And I could see that I only had a few more years with my boys at home before they left to go, become adults, go to college and become adults. And I didn't want to squander those last few years 100% focused on my business. And so with that in mind, I had tried to sell our company and failed twice. And I had this decision point of, am I going to go for it a third time or am I going to take a step back? And I decided to take a step back. And instead of growing the company and getting to the next level, I said, you know what? What's more important to me in this season of life is that I suck the marrow out of this season of life. I are adults. You can't, there's no time machine to go back in time and say, oh, let's have these 5 years together or these 4 years or 3 years. So yeah, I reprioritized life in a big way. And I didn't, but I
Not at all.
definitely shifted my priorities to much more of a Zen, balanced approach that was not growth at all costs, but it was building a business in service of a life that I wanted to live and that I wanted to provide for my family. And for me, what that meant was through a series of adventures along the way, starting a farm together where we raise and grow our own food and among other things and live a life immersed in nature and get to be in an incredibly beautiful environment on a day-to-day basis and feel deeply connected to the planet in a way that I certainly did not feel connected when I was in hyper growth mode in interfacing with technology all day every day and not even having time really to take a step back to reflect and to actually feel what was happening.